Hello, garden friends. It's another wintry day here in central New Hampshire, but today I'm going to take you out to the greenhouse and I'm going to clean it out and prepare it for seedlings. The seedlings that I've got growing under my grow lights inside the house. Things are getting a little crowded in there, and so I need to start moving some of the more cold hardy seedlings out to the greenhouse so I can make more room under the grow lights. And so I'm going to take you along. Today is one of those weird sort of winter, sort of spring days where it's 40 degrees, but there's still a lot of snow cover. So there's this eerie fog everywhere, which is kind of beautiful in its own way. And the sun is trying to come out through the fog. I don't know, I love days like this. And if you look down at the pond, the aerator has finally been able to punch a hole back through the ice. It was completely frozen over a week ago. And I've been hearing lots of blue jays and other birds flying around. So spring is slowly coming, even though it does not look like it right now. The combination of the snow cover and the fog with the sun trying to burn through has made it really glaringly bright out here. So glasses today, even though it's currently cloudy. It's very odd. So let me take you through the carport and out back. Come this way. And as you can see, things are melting. And we've got a bit of a little flood going on here in the back of the carport. Happens every year when what we call the glacier from behind the carport slowly melts. And we'll have snow back here probably through late April, depending on the weather. So there's my objective. I've got to get into that greenhouse. And with all the snow, the door is pretty well snowed in. So that's my first task, is to shovel that out so I can get in. And just like that, the sun has come out and we have blue skies. And the fog is pretty much gone. Okay, I'm gonna get into the greenhouse now. Ooh. It's actually quite toasty in here. I've got shade cloth hanging up here from last fall when I was trying to cure onions and squash, and I just left it up. I'll take that down today. And then there are two tables here that we use for seed trays once they've graduated from the greenhouse or when the greenhouse gets full. We put these outside. Unfortunately, I can't manhandle these out of here by myself, so I'm gonna have to wait till my husband comes home and we'll take these out. And then I've got another little piece of shade cloth here that I got to take up, put away. Just some general cleaning, get this ready. Here's the heater that I'll be setting up. It's a Palma heater with a little fan to keep the air moving. So I got to make sure I dig out the electric cable that goes to the carport and get that all hooked up. We have an electrician that will come out in the spring and will hook up proper electricity to the greenhouse and the pond as well. So we won't be operating with extension cords anymore, which is good. And then over on this side, I've got, six 55-gallon barrels, plastic barrels that I spray painted black and these are filled with water. And this is part of, hopefully, part of my heat management strategy. These heat up during the day, and then at night, when obviously the sun's not out and things cool off pretty rapidly, this provides a bit of a heat storage bank that hopefully will keep my heater from having to work so hard to keep this above 50, 55 degrees. We'll see. I had to go inside and take off my down jacket. It was just way too warm. It's like 50 degrees out right now. And inside the greenhouse is probably close to 80. So I'm just in a work shirt right now. So I'm gonna finish cleaning up the plant material that is on the ground and on the benches, and rake that all out, and then set up the heating. I've got the greenhouse as clean as I think I'm going to get it today. I'll have my husband help me take these out this weekend and get these out of the way. We'll just put them off to the side outside until we need them, probably in May when this greenhouse is completely full of seedlings and I can start transitioning stuff outside. So I also set up the heating system and the fan. Let me show you what I did there. My heater is a little BioGreen Palma heater. It's electric, and so I have to be fairly careful with how long I use it because it does pull quite a bit of amperage. Now that's plugged into this thermostat here where I can set the temperature at which it clicks on, and it won't click on until this reaches below 55 currently. I try to give myself a little bit of a cushion. It will probably be below 55 in certain parts of the greenhouse, but at least at 55 where it's sitting, we'll kick it on, and that way the rest of the greenhouse probably won't go below 50. And then also that's plugged into a power strip that plugs into the long extension cord we have going to the carport, that orange cord coming out. Also in that power strip we have a little fan, and that helps just keep the air circulating. You've probably noticed that there's a bit of water here in the corner. That's new. So I'm going to have to raise the corner here, the level of the base in the corner here. Obviously this is a low spot because nowhere else do I see standing water. We also have quite a bit of snow up against the side of the greenhouse, so I'm sure as that's melting, it's just pouring the water in here. So something else to do this summer. So the thermostat is controlled by this long string. There's a sensor at the tip of this, and I'll show you where I put this. So I take this sensor cord and I just wrap it around this structural support here a couple times. So that it hovers just above where the seed trays are going to be. And that way, when this area gets below the critical temperature, the heater will kick on and keep everybody all toasty warm. I didn't mention this earlier, but I put the heater on the ground for a reason, so that it heats down here and the heat rises. If I had it up higher, then it's going to heat the upper half of the greenhouse and the lower half is going to be freezing because the ground is still very cold. So the heater sits on the ground and heats from the ground up, and hopefully keeps the whole greenhouse a little bit more constant temperature rather than having a really cold spot on the ground level. Well, now that I've got everything set up, I'm going to go inside and grab my 2 trays of onion starts that are itching to get out from underneath the grow lights. Also, I need more space because I'm about to sow a whole bunch more annual flowers primarily, but some herbs as well, and I need the space. So I'm going to go grab those and I'll be right back. I did forget one thing before I go inside and grab my onion seedlings. I have these big black trays that I put on the benches, and then I put my trays, my seedling trays, inside these. Right at this moment, I cannot remember where I got these. I think it was Greenhouse Megastore, but I'm not sure. I will check, and I'll put a link below where I got these. But these are heavy-duty plastic and completely watertight, and it's great because I can put my seedling trays in here and then bottom water. I can add water to this tray and bottom water my seedlings. A lot of seedlings are very delicate when they first come up. They're planted right on the surface, and so sometimes even with a fine mist spray, it moves seeds around or damages seedlings. So it's nice to have these to be able to bottom water. I do this with all my entire bench is covered with these trays. So no matter what I'm planting or what I have for seeds, they all go in these trays, and it just makes managing them much easier. Also on the other side, where I have the barrels, these black trays keep all the water and debris off the top of the barrels. They can get kind of manky with all the water spraying. So this just helps keep the barrels from building up all sorts of stuff on the top. So got the tray here. I'm gonna go get the seedlings for real now. There. So now I'm going to close up the greenhouse, and I will be back to check on it later on this evening once the sun goes down and I know the temperature has dropped below 40 or so. I think it's supposed to get down into the 30s tonight. It's been really unusually warm these last couple of days, but we are predicted to get some cold weather coming into tomorrow with some gusty winds. So I do expect over the weekend the temperatures will be back to winter temperatures. So I'll be in here quite often checking and making sure this heater is working. And it hasn't, knock on wood, failed me yet. It's been very, very reliable, but I always worry. Onions can take a bit of cold, so I'm not worried that they're going to die if it gets below freezing in here. But obviously I don't want to stress them any more than they need to be. But once I start moving other things out, annual flowers, basil definitely doesn't like the frost. Some of the herbs and even some of the greens, I don't want to expose them to frost just yet. So yeah, so I'm gonna close everything up and put my tools away, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.